They called them the Big Three. Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. Titans of the sport. Legends whose names are etched in gold across every Grand Slam venue in the world. But the story of modern tennis is not complete without one more name. Andy Murray. And on a special night in Glasgow, under the lights of admiration and reflection, Murray opened his heart about a rivalry that shaped him, tested him, and, in many ways, defined him. He stood there, not with regret, not with envy, but with pride. Because while Federer soared with elegance, Nadal raged with passion, and Djokovic sliced through eras with precision, it was Murray who stood against them all. Again and again. In finals, in semis, on center court and in Davis Cup wars. He may not have matched their Grand Slam counts, 66 major titles between the three of them, but make no mistake, Murray was in that fight. 3 Grand Slam titles, 2 Olympic golds, a Davis Cup for Great Britain, and perhaps more impressively, a resilience that only those who've truly stood alone on the court can understand. He was the outlier, the one who came from a small town in Scotland and broke through in a sport not designed for him. He didn't have the effortless grace of Federer. He didn't have the brute force of Nadal. He didn't have the cold resolve of Djokovic. What he had was grit. A fighter's heart. A warrior's soul. And on this night, as he stood alongside the very men who had pushed him to his limits for more than a decade, he spoke not as a rival, but as a brother in battle. He spoke of admiration, of respect, of memories burned into his muscles, of the pain of losing, and the joy of belonging. Because Andy Murray didn't just chase legends. He competed with them. He beat them. On the biggest stages. In the fiercest battles. And when he didn't win, he still made them work for every inch. He wasn't just the fourth man. He was the glue of an era. The reminder that greatness isn't just about numbers, it's about who you became while trying to reach them. At Roland Garros this year, a special ceremony was held to honor Rafael Nadal's unprecedented 14 titles on clay. Federer was there. Djokovic was there. And so was Murray. Because history knows who belongs. And the Big Four. That's not a fan-made title. That's earned. Murray, with his metal hip and battered body, still carries the weight of his era with dignity. He never quit. Not when they said he couldn't win a slam. Not when they said he'd never beat Federer in a final. Not when his body broke down and doctors told him to walk away. He fought. And now, in his 38th year, when the noise has calmed, when the spotlight shifts to younger faces, the shouts of support ring louder than ever. Not for what he won, but for how he played. With heart, with honesty, with unrelenting fire. The people of Glasgow stood with him, not just for being a champion, but for being theirs. For carrying their voice onto tennis' grandest stages. For making history not by shadowing greatness, but by standing shoulder to shoulder with it. This was more than a ceremony. It was a tribute. To the boy who became a warrior. To the man who stood tall in the fiercest storm. To the player who reminded us all that greatness isn't always defined by numbers. Sometimes, it's defined by the fight.